Hey guys, we are going to have the lesson identifying which square. So the way to do this, and we've done this before towards the beginning of the semester, was taking the signer's perspective. And I know that some of you struggled with this a little bit, so we're going to practice it a little more in a different way. We did it with tic-tac-toe before, but we're going to use similar but without playing tic-tac-toe. So I need everyone to get a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be copy paper. It can be any sort of paper that you can write on. You're going to have to write on the paper. So what you're going to need to do is use your left hand to pinch the upper left corner of the paper. Okay? Which means we're going to fold a third of the paper, like this. Try your best to make it pretty straight. That looks pretty good. Like so. Okay, and then your right hand to pinch in the middle of the right side of the paper. And so we're going to fold another time. So we're going to fold into thirds. Oh, mine's a little bit not even. I might have to redo this. That does not look good. Here, okay, so my first one, I'm going to move it over just a little bit so it's even with this first piece. Okay, so that's a little better. And then I am going to, still not even, golly. Okay, that's going to have to work. So, fold into thirds. So, kind of like an accordion. Mine looks like this. Okay. And then we are going to fold this piece into thirds again. So, we folded the whole paper into thirds. Now we're going to fold this piece into thirds. So now we are going to, let's see if that'll work before I push down. Okay, so fold the first piece, and then I'm going to fold this piece. I'm struggling at getting this even. So if you don't get it even, it's okay as long as it looks pretty close. So it's going to end up looking like this. And now I have the accordion piece again. So you should have a square at this point. Ooh. Okay, so now I need you to open the paper and lay it flat down on something in front of you. Something, a book or a desk or something that you have where you can write on it. So now, if you did this correctly, you should have 9 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so you can kind of see mine a little bit. You should have 9 squares. Okay, so what we're going to do is I am going to identify numbers in these squares, and you are going to write them in the squares using my perspective. I'm the signer, okay? So I am going to be drawing in the air. I'm going to be drawing the grid like we did with tic-tac-toe, but I'm going to put a number in those grids instead of X's and O's. And you are going to do your absolute best to get the right number in the right blank. Okay, so before we do the numbers in the blank, I would like to point to a specific part on the grid, a square on the grid. And I'm just going to see if how well you're doing with identifying these correct grids. So I'm going to just point to one and you see if it's the right one, okay? Bugs everywhere. let's do that again. Okay, so you should have pointed at the square that is in the top left corner, because this is the one I picked, and if I turn around, it's on the top left of my paper in the air. Okay, that's my perspective as the signer. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, so the one that you should be pointing at on your paper is the lower right side. So on your paper, it should be this one right here. This is the lower right side. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, on your paper, you should be pointing at the bottom left square. So this is how you identify the signer's perspective. It's not how you're seeing it, but it's how I'm seeing it, okay? It's my perspective, the signer's perspective. Okay, so let's put some numbers in those boxes. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you 9 different numbers for different boxes, okay? They're not gonna be in order, they're gonna be all out of order. And after you label each box one of the numbers, you're going to do something, you're gonna write something in those boxes. So make sure that when you're putting the number in the box, you're not writing it super big, because you are, after we label each number in a box, you are going to be putting something else in those boxes. So make sure you have room. You can write the number real small in the corner of each square. Okay, so number 1 is going to go in this square. That's number 1. Okay, so this is what I want you to do in number 1 box. Write number 1 in the one that I just told you to put it in. And then I also want you to do this. Okay, so what I just did, I want you to do that in that box. I'm gonna make sure you're doing the right thing. Okay, so wherever you just put number 1, this is what you're going to do in the number 1 box. That goes to number 1. Okay, this is number 2. Okay, this is what you're going to put in number 2 box. Okay, number 3. Number 3 box, this is what you're going to do. Okay, number 4. And this is what you put in number 4 box. Okay, number 5. And this is what you put in number 5 box. Number 6. Number 6. Okay, number 7. Okay, number 7. Okay, and number 7. Okay, number 8. In number 8, you're going to write and number 9. Number 9. Number 9, you write Okay, so what I want you to do is, if you didn't already, I want you to write on your piece of paper what I just signed, and I want you to turn that in on LMS and do your absolute best. There's no reason to copy anyone's answers. Just do your absolute best, and I just want to see your work. Take a picture of it and please post it to the assignment on LMS labeled identifying which square. So if you need help, just please let me know and I will definitely help you out. There may be a couple signs that you weren't familiar with, and if that is the case, I think maybe one that you may not be familiar with is this, and that is lost. And then this is look for. It's like I have a magnifying glass and I'm looking everywhere. Look for. And I think that is it. So let me know if you need any help. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week.